Bonjour, beautiful day to you, to my brothers and my sisters. As I can't even make it out one day. But thank you again, brothers and sisters, for joining me once more. Of course, I could have did better than that, but maybe not today. All right. Um, for those that are going to watch the video, I forgive you. But just know that now you've added more things. Let's just say we were in court, right? And this is not for the typical brothers and sisters. This is for those that are playing the antagonist versus protagonist situation. And I'm not even the main character, right? The actual author of the story is writing this in the first person, the second person, and third person, right? To fit the narrative of his purpose, to give me favor. But I forgive those that have done what they've done. I forgive you. I just hope that it was worth it. Because if we were in court, like I was saying earlier, all you're doing is just adding more things to the list as to what would be used against you in court. More and more is just piling up from spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, right? Right? Did I already say spiritually? Spiritually as well. On an astronomical level. All of these things are going to pile up, and you're not going to have no excuses to talk. That's why lying is not good. Lying is not good. If I make a mistake, making a mistake is one thing, but lying is not something I will do. I don't like lying. I detest it. You can make a reference to try to be funny, but I detest lying. I detest it. Imagine having a dog, right, that can smell actual lying off. It's like I could smell it off you. My senses, I can feel something that is not good. I can feel when something is not right. I can always tell. Lying is not good. It is not good, and it never will be. But I forgive you and everyone else that's involved. Whoever thought that it was a good idea, I forgive you. But back to the words, brothers and sisters, because this is not about me. This is about our Father. But I just had to let them know I forgive them. It obviously did not work, and I'm here and I'm still smiling. If this is not a testimony that my Father is actually in work, right? For people to stop doing the heinous stuff that they're doing, I don't know what is. It just seems like they just want to keep hurting themselves, but I guess that's their choice. I'm not going to leave the belief of my Creator because you want me to follow the church. Why would I follow the church when it's not the church that saves me? The church is the main place that's corrupted when the body is the church and Christ is coming, right? The Christile of the ascension is coming to pick up the spirit from the vessel which is considered the church to assemble us all like avengers. But yet I'm supposed to follow these doctrines. I'm supposed to go off philosophy. And then mind you, you're talking to somebody, right? Brothers and sisters. Imagine somebody that's talking to somebody that understands science more than them, right? And they try to use logic. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. If I don't understand something, trust and believe, I'm gonna tell you I don't understand. I have no reason to be like, hey, 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 hey. If you hear me say the word right, that means that either I'm listening or I'm not listening, which you can't really tell either way, right? They got people where I could tell them about stuff, but I don't have to tell them fully exactly what I want to tell them unless, there are given scenarios. I'm not the type of person that's like, hey, I heard a sad story. So here I'm going to just use that to be like, hey, we're going to put you in a plan. We're going to have you work with this and that. No, I'm not that type of person because we've all been through terrible things. I'm the type of person is if you're going to do this, are you sincere about it? Are you actually going to be doing this because you want to help the situation or you're just doing it because of money? Yes, I could be considered a money making machine. But why would I be making money when I don't need to make money? It's the same way if I say this, for example, like I go on live, right? With I go on live to other people's panels or however and just have discussions, right? Imagine I make a blogging session, right? It doesn't matter if it's blogging, it doesn't matter if it's sales, it doesn't matter if it's writing, it doesn't matter if it's singing music, making music, however, dancing, right? It doesn't matter what I do. If I'm able to do what I do because I was given the gift and the talent to do so, ooh, excuse me, right? Do you think that I am in any way obligated to just be like, hey, a sob story, right? A sob story. I can help the situation, but you have to tell me a sob story. No, be yourself. That's all I ask for people. The one thing I don't like is manipulation. I really do not like that. If you got something to say to me, just say it to me. You don't have to manipulate a conversation in your direction to think that you have the advantage. Just say what you want to say. I had to remove that cup right there for a second because I needed to drink, and I'm about to drink after this video. But I'm the person where like I have no like look, if I don't like something that you're doing, if I'm trying to be nice, I would say it in a very nice way. And I might even repeat myself just so that you can understand the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth time. I will be that nice to be that patient with you. But if my intention is to actually build something rather than just focusing on money, right? Why, like literally, I understand people say they got bills to pay, but I remember you got bills to pay because of what the ancestors have brought you here. Your predecessors have allowed things to happen. We're supposed to be breaking these curses, but yet we are allowing these things to continue because they themselves they were being greedy. And it's not everybody, but of course we have some people that were. Because if they knew better, they would have did better. But because some of them didn't know any better, how would they know the future? They were people just like you and me. So I forgive them. That don't mean that I'm gonna take that curse. If I'm left with a burden, that's one thing, but it's another thing if it's a curse. I can't accept that. I'm just saying. I'm a very, very, very intellectual young man, and I believe myself to be. And when I'm among people that claim to know better than me, I humble myself by trying to learn. But when they don't give me something to learn, and it's just nothing but opinions on the facts of them basically trying to reprove, or you could say edify their thoughts on how they perceive life rather than it being literal. I do not associate. Because the same people that would tell you all of these things, they've been around you, they know you, they don't give you they don't give you the option for you to be able to work with them. They would tell you go to Alaska before you work with us. And they're the people that's supposed to be close to you. You know how crazy that sounds? Oh, I have the answers, but I'm not gonna give you the answer because you gotta go to Alaska first. You know how crazy that sounds. Oh no, you gotta go to LA first. No, no, you gotta go through this pastor, this preacher, this prophet, this pope priest first. What? What? Um, pause. Wait a minute. Let's retrace that. I'm not rocking with the modern time teachings. I don't do that. The modern time teachings, I don't do that. Prosperity this, live your truth. No, what does that even mean? Live your truth is either the truth or it's not the truth, because it says because it seems like when it says live your truth is like basically say be egotistic, be narcissistic, and just tell people your opinion, and if it's not your opinion, you know, delete that, because that's exactly what I see in people's reactions to people that say live your truth. Like, mind you, I'm around people that say things like, "Oh, you're a Pisces, you are a Sagittarius, you are a Capricorn, all of these things, you are a Cancer," right? And yet they expect me, mind you, I'm very watchful and I listen. I do not forget. I listen carefully. I laugh and joke just like Christ did with the publicans and the sinners. He stuck around them because at least they can understand, even if they don't want to, they can understand. I have no reason to judge, but I'm watchful. I'm very cautious of what happens. So imagine talking to somebody that has like 20,000 eyes and you just tell them anything and they're just supposed to be like, "Yep, yep, that's exactly what you said is." Just don't work that way. I have a brain for a reason, right? Hands for a reason, eyes for a reason, a mouth for a reason, the ears for a reason, so I can listen and then I can speak. So because when I listen, I can understand. I have eyes so that I can see and understand before I speak, the same way I have a mouth so that I can speak after understanding, right? All things make sense. Same thing with my nose. I can smell and I can breathe. It all makes sense, right? But let's get into the word though, because that's the main thing that I came here for. And besides you all beautiful, beautiful, beautiful people, okay? Besides your beautiful faces from wherever that you are in Japan, konnichiwa, right? In Thailand, ni hao, I could say gratis, also bonjour, what else? What is it called? Hola, buongiorno. Okay, everything. I'm just grateful that you guys are here. But let's get into the word though. And the topic for today is grace is given purposely, so apply them boldly. In the chapter of Saint Luke and 19. So the Chronicles of Saint Luke, chapter 19, basically. All right. In the first statement, of course, this is a translation and a summary, because unfortunately I pre-written this and I did not change it because I did not add no verses. Well, I probably did, but not in this specific one. I did. It's just, yeah, it's just later on in this specific summary, but we're gonna read it anyway. So let's get started, okay? So in Bethphage, Bethpage. Bethpage, right? Bethpage. I know that the H and P and the T, it's just a whole lot of pretty much okay on my tongue. So please stand by because it's a lot of with my tongue and these words. All right. So in Bethpage and Bethany, called the Mountains of Olives, a man was tied to a colt, for the disciples were sent to retrieve them, right? For Christ, for he needed them, so they did so. And I said, man, I mean, I don't care from Shrek and from Shrek. Is that? I think it is. I think it's just Shrek. Donkey, right? What this the next statement said? And when they saw him coming down, they all were amazed, giving our Elohim, my apologies, giving our Elohim the glory. And some of the Pharisees felt annoyed and told Christ to stop their commotions. But Christ said, even the stones will cry, for it is not the best action to take. Mm, They were mad. They were upset. This is not the best way to go about it, brother. This is not the best way to go about it, sister. But you took the wrong path. You took the terrible path. You took it terribly wrong, and you know you're wrong for that. But hey, I forgive you. Because Christ, what he say? What he say? What he say? For a time will come for in Christ's name, right? Tribulations will be inflicted upon the believers of great faith, for all will be corrupted, and at that time they know not of his arrival. Some people might take that and be like, hey, he's talking about the physical arrival. No, Christ is everywhere, right? The spirit of our Elohim is everywhere. So his arrival is every minute, every second, every millisecond. So whenever what the true believers are in chaotic problems, there's always going to be a revelation. There's always going to be a prophecy. There's always going to be what? A testimony. There's always going to be a miracle. Because why? That shows true faith. Loyalty does not work one way, it's both ways. So if you're loyal to our Father, He's loyal to you. So for a lot of the people, just like Christ says, you miracle wanters, you miracle searchers, seekers, right? The reason why you don't see real miracles is because you don't believe truly. You only believe in what you want to, in what you see and what you seek, which is your desireful lust. You don't even keep the commandments. You don't even be faithful to your creator. Let alone everything that you do is for you and not the truth, and let alone the intentions of your heart. It's nothing but what? Political gain. Because you want people to say that you did good to this person. You want people to say that I've been an influence that helped this person through everything. You want attention. Unfortunately, that's the truth. That's the truth. Because we don't know. We do not know exactly when he's going to arrive. So that means he arrives every time. But he has not arrived physically for us to see physically, but he's arrived spiritually every time. Meaning his word, his action has been always, he's always arrived. He's always been here. And that's the thing that people have always been missing. When somebody said that they are in the right hand of our Father, what does that mean? They are in the action of what? Good. They are in the act of good of our Creator. So our Creator is always in the use of Him for good things, relevating to us, relating to our lives. intervening in all the things that we do that we're supposed to be good, to have good or bad, to have good outcomes. Have you not thought about that? But let's continue. Let's read it. The next statement says, then came on his arrival to the temple and began to cast out all that set up shops and gamble in exchange for money or goods, saying in verse 46. So basically, all the people that came into the shop, and mind you, this is a summary and the way that I wrote it down. And this is in verse 46. If you would like to go into the chapter of Saint Luke 19, my apologies. In Saints in the Chronicles of chapter of Saint Luke 19. So verse 48, verse 46, my apologies. If you want to go and look up that verse, yes. He came and destroyed these things because it was a market scheme. It was a terrible market scheme. It was a terrible market scheme. It was a terrible market scheme. He came and he abolished it, but fulfilled the will of our Father. And then what does it say next? Saying unto them, it is written, my house is the house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves. My house is the house of prayer, but you have made it a place of thievery, lies, extortion. The absence of love is no longer there. The absence of truth is no longer there. The absence of peace and unity and harmony is no longer there. It's no longer there. That's what it says. And mind you, I wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna read this and just pick this. No, I literally came to it. I was like, hey, I'm gonna take this part, and that's it. I looked at the first two couple minutes of a couple sentences, and I was just like, hey, I'm gonna just pick this. That's fine. I didn't just go and skim it. No, I literally just picked this up, and that was it. And it's crazy how it relevates to today's day and everything that happened. So whoever out there that this relevate to, please understand that I'm not saying this because I want to say this. I'm saying this because it happened, and literally this is exactly what's being shown to me. And it's correlating. If this is not the spirit, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Most people, when you go to church, there's no translator. So who's going to witness the glory of our Father? It's not for privacy. It's for everybody in a church. It's a congregation. I'm just saying, right? But let's look in the next statement. And what does it say? No matter the amount of harm aimed at him by the chief priests and scribes, they couldn't find nothing to destroy him, even though he had taught daily at the temple. Looking for problems that you can't find nowhere. You try to create problems you can't find nothing to do it with, and now look at it, and now they looking crazy trying to sell at a place that they know exactly they shouldn't be trying to extort at a place they know they shouldn't be, trying to lie for a situation they know they shouldn't be. Look at it now. Look at it. The same people that are doing what they want to do, but they can't find reasons to do it exactly the way that they should do it. If it's like me going to war against a country, right? And you see that the country that I'm going to go the war against have better weapons than me. They have better armor, better everything than me. And it's like, hey, I'm still going to go to war against them. It's like going to war against giants and you just know that you shouldn't, but yet you still try and then you still fail and you think you're gonna come back again and it's gonna be the same thing. After seeing you do this for 100,000 times, now you're thinking what you're about to do is gonna be working because why? Why would it work? Why should it work? That's the question. Not why would it work, but why should it work? I am like a giant and you're coming against me with a pebble. If I take that pebble, if you throw a pebble at me, it's not going to be the same way if I take that same pebble and throw it back at you. It's not going to be the same force. It's not going to be the same force. You're throwing a pebble at me, but if I were to take that same pebble and throw it back at you, it's not going to be the same force. It will not be the same force. So I'm not upset. I can only be happy because I was given the opportunity to not do it to you. Because I know that you can defeat your demons. You might not choose it now, but if you don't defeat it, when the time will come, you will have to actually answer to the reason as to why you were given the ability and the choice to fight those devils and demons and you did not. But yet you succumb to their needs and their desire of doing what you just thought it was good when it really wasn't. So, brothers and sisters, my topic for today, besides the topic of the day, is stop being toxic. If you know you're not doing good, stop doing bad. If you know you're lying, tell the truth. If you know you're stealing, stop stealing. If you know you're committing adultery, stop committing adultery. If you know you're committing fornication, stop fornicating. Because we still have people out here right now that think that idolatry and fornication are not the same thing. If you're committing sexual activities, if you're not married, right, that's fornication regardless. It's still idolatry because at the end of the day, you're supposed to be with a wife. You're supposed to be having committed, right, intercourse with your what? Your acknowledged spouse, not just a random person. So when people don't even read the word, when they talk about Deuteronomy in chapter 22, talking about the word itself, they're looking at it from a version, right, that has been translated and not in the best way that it should actually. When we look at the word rather than what we want it to think, what we want ourselves to think what it means. Because all of these versions of the Bibles have to be read and it has to be transcribed in the actual ultimate, or you could say the epitome, right, like I was going to use. It has to be the epitome of all books, because if it's not the epitome of all books, we're going to keep reading the same things and people are going to keep saying what they're saying and then not knowing exactly what they're reading. Because why? They're just picking verse from verse, not reading the whole chapter. And because they're reading verse from verse and knowing only of what they think is being condoned rather than it being a consequence, they feel like they have the right to say that they read the whole book when they haven't. And you know the reason why they don't read the whole book is I'm gonna tell you the reason why they don't read the whole book. Let alone if they do read the book, they're not gonna read the whole book. Because why? They're gonna be convicted. Although most of those stories that are told by the disciples and the saints, right, might not have been in the original manuscript 100%, but still a part of it, right? Their testimonies are still relevant to the spirit, meaning the adventures and the situations with Christ, the actual truth of following the commandments and knowing what is and what is not is still going to convict them. But because people don't understand what the word sinful nature means, they get caught up in the wave of stupidity. It's one thing where you do something to, relevate yourself in a sense of, hey, if you don't want to be online to watch a whole bunch of nudity and people doing stupid things on YouTube, whatever the case is, right? Don't be on YouTube as much. Play a video game. And if that's distracting you more than what you're supposed to do, stop playing video games. Fasting is not just separating yourself from food or water. It's also the things that attach you to a desire that has no means of helping you in the future. But yet, if you tell a pastor this, they're gonna be like, "Oh, yes, I can understand, right? But you gotta still stop eating and stop drinking." No, not necessarily. If you choose to stop eating, that is a personal fast. That is a fast that everybody and anything can do. Animals do it all the time without us even realizing it. How can animals do things better than us that we should be able to do? And we have the ability to think better than them, but yet they live their life so perfectly. Without humans being in this world, I'm sure that animals would be able to survive. Although there would have been although there would have been a lot of problems, but I'm sure animals would have been able to survive more than us. Even insects themselves. They're here for us, but yet we don't even know how to contain ourselves because we want to do things irrational. But enough of that, brothers and sisters. Like I said, there's no reason for us to be toxic. We shouldn't be toxic. We have no reason to be toxic. Right? It's all but what? In the favor of our Elohim and our Adonai. Mm. I felt something right there on my neck, and I'm like, bruh, brother. I thought I felt something on my neck. I'm like, brother. That was sweat. It wasn't. No, it was not. But enough of that. Beautiful day to you all. And of course, I pray that all is well with you, as it is and it shall always be. I give unto you guys a kiss from me. Ah. And if somebody told you they don't love you today, tell them I said I love you. And I love them. For if they don't want my kiss, like DJ Khaled, another one. Mwah. All right. So I might sing a little bit. I love you so much for being here with me. And I love you for even listening to me. Just to be right here once more. And I keep for everything that you do. Forever in my mind. And let me stop. I wasn't gonna try too hard, but it got a little too crazy in here. But take care, brothers and sisters. Love you.